All right. Well, so I met goes by the company name Farmer Freeman. I actually met this gentleman at an event with Grow with Lisa, local DC Southeast resident, doing a lot with the community. And he had his little station up, and I'm like, DNA testing. So I'd heard about DNA testing as far as like lineage of plants, like trace it back, where did it come from. So I got to talking and let him tell a little bit about his service, but I was just like blown away about DNA. So I think that's probably a pretty good little intro if you want to tell us a little bit about, what you do, why you do it, and.
Yeah. So that was the Grow with Lisa Grown 2 back in July. That was sort of when we were just getting started this summer, and we were there. Met some great people. Grow with Lisa's great. Been to a couple of her events now. And we were there to introduce sex testing for seedlings. Generally, like your regular seeds, you just don't know if they're going to be male or female. So we were there to introduce the idea that you can DNA test them, analyze the DNA, and just check for either male or female sequences. You're not going to find them both. The plant's just going to have one or the other. So we did that. Along with, we were doing like some potency testing. Decided to scrap that idea because I don't know if you guys know much about potency testing, but there's a lot of different methods, and a lot of it's really subjective, and we just sort of felt weird giving results we weren't quite sure about. So
it seems
so
like
we
it's
started
no
with sex testing.
It seems like there's no set.
Yeah.
No set stage of how to test for potency because everybody does it different.
At least on the East Coast, we're not.
Right.
I think they're doing like a light test. If I think Steep Hills, it's like a scan, right? And then they base that off of other tests they've seen or something like that.
Yeah. So Steep Hill, Maryland, they do Steep Hill, DC. I believe they have both their near IR, which it's sort of like light, and they measure the diffraction, and I guess compare that to a database. But I believe they also have an HPLC, which is sort of the gold standard, but it's only standard if you have like a kind of a regulatory body or third party that's telling you how you should run it and making sure everyone runs it the same each time, which we don't have here in DC.
Right.
So
it's just, and I'm interested. How did you fall into actually DNA? Because what was your background to actually just like sit back and figure out like if I could figure out the sex of a plant before we even get way into it. Like this is a money saver here. It's a game changer.
Oh, for sure. So, my background is in biology. So I came to DC to American University a few years ago and got a degree in biology. And so when you're doing that, you learn a DNA technique called PCR, polymerase chain reaction. And that's where you can take DNA and make it like 1 million copies of it so that it's really easy to analyze it. This was invented in the 80s, and that's what we use for like breast cancer screening. And when you send your dog's hair to the DNA test place, they're doing PCR. So I was studying this. I was, as soon as DC, Initiative 71 passed, we all started planting seeds. And I'm just thinking, man, like there's surely, it's in the DNA. Maybe someone's done this before. And frankly, I just Googled it and found these Italian and Japanese researchers that had done all this work on hemp in the 90s.
Right.
And so I kind of expanded upon their stuff. And, they had published it kind of open source and just under the idea that, we're not going to start a company doing this, but here it is. And so I took that and ran with it, and we tested our own plants just in the backyard. It worked out, so then we started testing our friends' plants, and then went on from there. So this year has been really where we started expanding and going hard.
Yeah, I definitely see you being successful at it, especially with us in the legal count in DC. Like, I can see how that would help out if you're trying to weed out the male plants from the female plants and get your 6 to 12 plants growing.
Right.
It's just definitely an open market for this, and I'm amazed by it for sure. I'm definitely amazed by it.
It looks like y'all. I saw you in the hydro shop, so you around DC as well.
Yeah. So pretty shortly after we launched in April, we started talking to Cap City. They sell our kits, Cap City Hydro, Cap City Organics. They both sell our kits, and they also, so you can buy our kit, take it home, put your little leaf in, put the tag on your plant, and then you can just drop it right back off at the shop. And then I do my rounds, pick them up, go test them. So that's been really helpful to reach out to more customers who maybe can't get to me in Clover Park, or maybe you can also keep it anonymous that way.
Right.
You can just buy cash. You can purchase with cash, buy these kits. I never have to know your name. I don't know who you are.
Right.
So that was another reason we really wanted to get into the stores. So that's been great too.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to everybody in chat as well. Y'all heard him. His product is at Capital City Hydroponics. That's correct, right?
Yep.
And then it's just as simple as that. Take a cutting of your leaf, drop it off. He gonna come pick it up and tell you what it is. And I'm telling you from experience, and I'm gonna definitely be giving you a holler.
I brought some kids.
But from experience, this would definitely be a time saver and a game changer on how, your garden is kept.
One thing that, through this process, I've been using the service quite a bit for myself, for other people I'm popping seeds for. But when you pop those seeds, once you get that first or second set of true leaves, just pop those little cotyledon leaves off, them little baby leaves. You don't even have to touch your plant. You don't have to mess with the growth or anything. Those are going to naturally fall off. I mean, I gave you some that looked half dead almost, and and I've seen a 100% success. This isn't any type of guess or voodoo science. This is exact guarantee with with the test. So it's pretty cool.
Right. So I'm curious. You said you've been using it. Have you noticed like the way you plant your seeds and start your new crops? Has it changed at all since you started doing this?
Well, growing no-till, I've kind of gone to a 1 gallon. So I'm starting everything in 1 gallon cloth pots, and then I'm transplanting that 1 gallon into a 20. But what it's stopping is it's stopping me from transplanting something into a 20 and taking up that room for that 20 gallon. So I'm going to know, like, I just started 5 seeds, 5 brand new seeds, like the 5 we tested. So we just tested 9-pound hammer. Turned out it was a 50-50. I had 3 girls, 2 boys. And right there, those 2 boys stayed in those 1 gallons and got given to a breeder. And I didn't never have to transplant. I knew exactly which ones to transplant. So I think that's where, as a no-till grower, it really saves you time. If you're popping them in cups, you never have to give them out. Take the ones out of a cup that isn't a male.
Right.
Right. So I think that it's made me want seeds more.
Okay.
I can tell you that right now. Yeah. It makes me want to pheno hunt seeds more. It makes me want to get genetics because I no longer have to worry about that time where I've got to cut a clone, I've got to sex a clone. Because that's pretty much your 2 ways of doing it. You're either starting from 12-12 from seed, and looking for sex early, pulling the males because the males normally show early, so you look for them and pull them, or you're letting them grow, taking a cutting, rooting the cutting, and then doing a 12-12, or that's just a lot of time, I think. So I think, and no pests. Wow, no pests from a seed, right? I don't have to worry about russet mites or anything like that getting clones out there. So
when we first started getting this idea, I think someone had shared, it was right after a clone share, and pests were going around like crazy back in 2015. So that was definitely one of our kind of marketing points, was that if you grow from seed, you're not going to get pests. So
I think it's valid.
And how long has this been? Have you been doing this now?
So we did our first testing in 2015. We kind of took like a year to keep validating the test, kind of refine the way we do our testing to make it accessible for people out of state, and then we relaunched this year. So
that's and definitely, like, I know you're definitely going to see a change and difference of how people ordering now that they could get it from out of state as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting. DC's my home market. I have the most customers here in DC, but I definitely don't do the highest volume of testing here in DC. My high volume tests come, from where you're going to grow a lot of weed in California.
Exactly.
So
you're getting a lot of stuff out of state, you're saying, as far as the testing and.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we can use this DNA smear kind of technology. You don't have to send any plant leaf or anything like that.
Right.
You just smash the leaf into this like really thick paper card, scrape the excess stuff off, and mail the card.
Okay. See, I personally never seen the testing. I just normally drop him off little leaves to him personally. So that's really cool. I did see something when I was doing some reading that they were saying for lineaging testing, you can ship plant like sticks if they've been soaked in alcohol.
Yeah.
Is another thing I was reading. So you could actually they can do DNA testing or lineaging testing. So I don't know if you know about this, DC Pharma. I just found out about this. If he wants to talk about a little bit about this CBD testing, he can do a little bit more than just sexing now. So a little bit of stuff he's getting into. Pretty exciting in my opinion.
Definitely. I mean, just see what excites me about this is just the way the industry is going now. It's just open for every lane is open for someone to be able to do something, and then the fact that we got scientists and biologists and everybody, looking into shit like this, man, you know what I'm saying, and coming up with fantastic ways of being able to save money while you're gardening this plant, you know what I'm saying, and also figuring out the do's and the don'ts and, the trials and the errors of everything that's happening. It's just like now you're able to test for CBD as well, so it seems like you're just scratching at the beginning of all this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the consumers are even just scratching at the beginning of all this. We're just now learning about terpenes and stuff and the difference that they can make. And so, as the consumers learn more and start demanding more, breeders are going to start having to catch up. And the breeders can now use the help of scientists like us, tell you exactly which seedlings are going to have that CBD genetics. And then, in the future, we'll be able to predict, which terpene synthase genes are present in the plant and just other traits like that, nodal length, color, perhaps.
Right. And definitely by CBD being so important in the game right now.
Yeah.
Just a lot of people out there need it. And just to be able to tell that if what you're growing is going to be leaning more towards that way, that's just also another added bonus benefit to what you got going on in your garden.
Yeah. So there's a lot of breeding work being done because a lot of the CBD plants are hemp, and they're just not as good to smoke as our THC bred plants. And so what the breeders now are trying to cross those and get the CBD genetics into those, bushier, stockier plants that we like to grow. And so when you cross them, you're going to get a random kind of mix of, some of those are high THC, some are mixed, some are high CBD. And so by the CBD test, you can tell if it's going to be basically which of those three categories, the mix 1-to-1 kind of ratio, or the high CBD or the high THC.
Definitely.
Yeah. Then there's another company that does something interesting. They have a test for the THC synthase gene. So the idea with that is you can test for both CBD and THC, and if your plant doesn't hit on either of those, that means it doesn't have those enzymes to convert CBG into CBD or THC. So that plant is going to be a high CBG plant, which is just even another more cutting edge kind of cannabinoid that we can breed towards, do some research on, and so that's just three, and there's hundreds, at least 100 of these cannabinoids. So
it just always seems like it's always another door opening up.
Yeah.
As soon as you discover something else right there.
That's a lot of doctorate degrees waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Each single one of those, if they can ever break the federal whatever.
Yeah, there's there's probably a few professors out west that will hook you up with a doctorate degree. You can work for them up in Washington, California. I don't think anyone's gotten a PhD in any sort of cannabis stuff, at least biology related, here on the East Coast yet.
It's very neat.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyways.
Not yet. Right? Not yet. But I think some school in Michigan just started like a medical cannabis kind of core group of courses from in their college.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to Underground Organics, Soul Botany Gurus in the house, Dr. Kush. I think I saw our man, Mr. Jock 420 through.
Yeah, it's been a lot of people coming in and out the chat for sure. Mr. J Rock 420. Shout out to you as well.
J Rock.
And you know, getting back to this, to all this science and all that. How does the process actually? How long does the process take?
So it takes about the way I do it takes about 4.5 hours. We're running a pretty old school, relatively old school method of PCR where we do the PCR, then we run the gel, we visualize the gel. What some other people are doing is they're doing a different type of PCR called qPCR, where you can in a way watch the DNA being amplified in real time. So with that, you know, you'll do your DNA extraction. That'll take about 30 minutes to an hour, and then once you load it in the qPCR, you can get results in about half an hour to an hour. Problem with that is these qPCR machines are mad expensive. Most of them are about 30,000 plus.
Jeez.
Whereas the endpoint PCR where you're running the gel,
right?
You can get a setup like that for $1,000 or $2,000.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's definitely a big price difference there.
Yeah.
So I guess in my mind, I don't know about you, but when I think DNA, you know, I think like the little helix spiral like I see in the textbook or whatever.
Right.
So when you're saying you're watching it or it's being amplified, what's that physically look like to you? Like, are you looking at it under a scope? Are you looking at it with your eye? Like, what's that look like?
So yeah, you're right. It's just a weird sort of spirally group of molecules, and so we attach fluorescent dyes to it.
Okay.
And so you can mix it with these dyes and then shine like a certain wavelength of light. And if it fluoresces, that means the dye is bound and the DNA was there.
Okay.
If it doesn't fluoresce, the dye had nothing to bind to, and the DNA wasn't amplified in a way.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
So that's basically how you visualize it. It's mostly with dyes and lights. There are some. You can there's a teaching lab method where you mash a strawberry and mix it with some alcohol, and you can get a rod and spin it in the mash and pull out DNA, and it looks white and clumpy. But what you're really looking at is a bunch of like salts and stuff attached to it. So DNA itself is usually just like a clear liquid in a way. Yeah.
Kind of neat.
Yeah. But this all is generally happening in little tubes, so you don't really see much until you apply it to like the analyzers. Yeah.
So how many do you do at a time? Like I've seen some of your Instagram posts. It looks like you have to do a lot at a time, or does your testing supplies it's like a threshold or something?
Yeah, it definitely helps to do like a big bunch in a batch. It's going to take 4.5 hours whether I do one sample or 50 samples.
Right.
So I like to group the orders, make sure I'm getting some bang for my time. And yeah, so my current machine can run up to 96 samples, and then they're pretty affordable machines, so you can, you know, should I need to, I can pick up some more and start doing more testing. But for now, I haven't needed any more capacity than that.
Right. Let's hope you need more than 96, right.
And that's 96 at a time, right?
96 at a time, so I could do that about twice a day if I needed to.
Okay. And how does that work? You like tag and categorize everything?
Yeah, how do you mean?
Like when you say you do it in a bunch, right?
Okay.
Are you doing like, all right, let's say I have 12 plants, and I want to get all my 12 plants tested. Is that, now all my plants are different genetics, different strains.
Right.
You know, like how do you follow that process
right.
of keeping that separated in the bunch? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the customer would generally just take a cutting of their leaf and put it in like a labeled plastic bag or envelope or something. This is what we sell at the retail stores. It's just a coin envelope with a tag. It's labeled with a sample number. and inside of it is a stake that has that same sample number.
Okay.
So you can just stick this onto your plant, put the leaf in there, drop this back off. You go online later, pretty your number, and then it's there.
So every plant, exactly.
Each plant's gonna have a different number.
Exactly.
This is where pretty much the only source of error is if you get stoned and accidentally mix these things up.
So it's all on your end if you mess it up, because once you take that sample into that tag, that's the number for that plant.
That's it. So I don't know if this was the wrong plant. It doesn't matter to me,
right.
you know. So I'll go into the grow shop, pick up a big stack of these from the customers that have dropped them off, take them home, and then from there I can kind of group them from order number and then run them all in the same batch.
That's pretty cool. And this is all 100% every time you able to detect male from female.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've it's essentially 100%. We did have one kind of fluke where dude tested an already flowering female plant and it came back with a male marker. So that's the one case out of about 1,000 that we've seen an error.
Maybe there was a hermaphrodite.
That's my question. My question
And
is,
that's the thing, is like I haven't confirmed with him his harvest. Maybe it was a Hermy.
or maybe it could have tendency, or because they say, and this is questions I have that no one can we need research on but hermaphrodite, is it, they say if it, then the gene was there, if hermaphrodite, the gene was there, or was it the environment that made that gene express itself, or did you make it happen? You know what I mean? Because those three things, I definitely think when my plants Hermy, it definitely had something to do with the temperature in the room. Whether they were always going to or not, who knows? But it definitely had to do with the environment and temperature, in my opinion. I was hitting 90 plus in there at some points. It was hot.
Yeah.
So
that's just something all plants do. If they're dioecious, they were monoecious. They had one sex. They were basically, all plants were hermaphrodites, and then a group of plants branched off and became dioecious. And some plants have more than two sexes.
Right. And dioecious meaning
two.
Right. So that means that the plant has a male and a female out there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So what am I getting at? These dioecious plants, though they're dioecious, they all have the ability to kind of pollinate themselves in case they need to just keep their genetics going. If they're not going to find a partner, they'll start to revert and pollinate themselves. So cannabis is like that. And so because of that, even if we found the Hermy gene, I don't think myself or any other companies would perform a test to tell you. I mean, maybe we would detect it and provide it in some kind of report, but we're not going to tell you if your plant's going to be a Hermy or not. Right. Because there's just, even if we don't detect it, you can stress the crap out of your plant and make it Hermy.
Right.
So no one's ever going to have to deal with that kind of guarantee.
Right.
Yeah, which is too bad, because people ask me all the time, can you tell me if my plant's going to hurt me or not? I really wish I could, but that's kind of on you in a way.
That's a lot of different varying factors that go into that.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, and the package looked real simple and forward. I don't know if the camera caught it earlier or not, but it's real simple and forward, y'all, man. Look, put the sample in here, come with the tag. He does the rest of the work. And then they look it up online? Yeah.
So they can enter this code online. It'll pull the result right up. Also, this is the same packet that we send out of state. Also, I showed you the guys the stake, but there's also the DNA card in there as well.
Okay.
And you can use that here if you want. It's really just easier to just take the cut and put it in. But yeah, the kit has everything you need. So.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like anybody's got too many questions, or people got quiet. I mean, we see a lot. People talk about they can guess the sex. They can look at the seed and tell the sex, and get the plant tested. I think it's amazing. It blows me away. I think everybody should do it. You know, the more people that do it, you know, become more and more affordable, and you know, team up with your friend or whatever, could get a bulk discount, you know, pop seeds, you know.
I mean, me personally, I think it's pretty cool, man, because in my opinion, I don't like growing feminized seeds. I don't do auto as well. I just like doing regular seeds. You know, I don't want it to be tampered with at all. I don't want, you know, just want to do a regular seed and grow the plant and let the plant express itself as it's going to be. And this seems like a way to weave through, like if you like growing feminine seeds and all that, feminized seeds, and you want to just go, cause a lot of people like growing feminized seeds because like, oh, I'm going to have female plants. I'm going to have female plants or whatever. But this seems to me to be a better way of just going ahead and buy you a good 10-pack, 20-pack of seeds, or however many packs you want to buy, and you could weed out the male from the females from those seed packs that you have once you pop them.
Yeah. But still, I hear the concern, you know, but if I buy regular seed and your test, the feminized seed are still cheaper. Dude, you're still saving money if you do this.
Right.
You know, you're going to have a hard time with those feminized seeds.
And I also find like a lot of the herming, you know, plants that herming a lot come from feminized seeds, you know, like, not to throw any dirt on feminized seeds or anything out there,
tough,
but I just know I don't get that from growing regular seeds. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking from a farmer standpoint, there's something about open pollen seeds and the fact, you know, keeping your male, you know, even if you're not keeping to breed, you're keeping your stronger cut from those. And I think that, you know, open pollen and keeping heirloom going in some of these breeds that you can trace back, like, you know, the Mountain Organic seeds I just picked up, you know, those are open pollen that they've been breeding, and they can trace that. And there's something to that, and there's something to keeping those genetics alive and healthy and having that dud seed. And, you know, I support open pollen in farming and cannabis for sure, because they're going to be GMO cannabis real soon, real soon, and there's going to be something to say for protecting genetic lines,
right?
For sure. So I think it's going to go the same way it is in farming. It's got to, you know, big farms going to get in there for sure. ASAP.
No doubt. There's already multiple groups working on biotechnology applications for cannabis, including GMO.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, how do you find, since you picked it back up, how do your response has been to this? You know, like,
people dig it. People are like, wow, this is like, you know, the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know,
right.
Like the fact that they don't have to grow these plants for like a whole extra month. You know, they really like it. Yeah,
because how disappointed would you be? You only could grow 6 plants, and then like 3 out of your 6, or sometimes even 4 are male. Then you only got 2 female plants. So definitely
just go ahead and figure that out early. Then you can plant more seeds and try to catch everything back up. You know.
And what the average cost of one of these packages will be?
So if you want to just buy one, it's $15. Most people buy the 10-pack for $120.
Right.
Yeah. So $12 a plant. I don't think you can get it cheaper than that.
Yeah, I mean, that's nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't spend $12, $10, $15 to figure out the sex of your plant is, then you're going to spend more money taking it to the long run just to be disappointed to find out it may not be what you want it to be.
Yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of money buying weed.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the disappointment factor, too. I don't know how many new growers I've talked to that get discouraged because they did all that and they thought this baby they were taking care of, and then it turns out to be a male, and they didn't know what they were looking at to start with, so they didn't know anything was wrong, or you know, whatever the case. So,
yeah. I mean, I still get a mix of reactions though. You know, people think that it's expensive. I think you should take a look at how much you're really spending on these plants. You know, what's your opportunity cost for a month of wasted time? I don't know.
Right. I mean,
and then I have other customers who are like, wow, okay. $12, give me 50. You know, no questions asked. So it's a mix, but that's to be expected. I mean, it's a new product, a new technology to this market, so that's to be expected.
And then, are you working on anything else as far as this type of research go? Like, maybe following the genetics of a plant?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I wish I could. Basically, my lab is just set up to do this one type of testing,
Okay.
and that's the single marker kind of DNA testing. We don't have any sequencing technology, so we're not going to be able to get a deep read on your plant. And we don't have the database of plants. You know, these like Phylos, you know, they have thousands of plants in their database now.
Right.
So it's just, you know,
It's kind of sad that that's the case for this plant, but yeah, that's the where we at now. Like I said, we at a start, and we almost like at a starting point.
Yeah.
From the beginning, you know, just figuring everything out right now as we going, especially with the science behind all this that's going on right now.
It looked like with a lot of the gene sequencing that there's some open source, and then there's some that don't want open source as far as the genetics, which seems confusing to me as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like they share botany around the world with every other species of plant. You know, I don't know why cannabis would be different, but apparently it is with that as well.
It's the money, man. I mean, what plant can you grow in your closet and make hundreds of dollars, thousands, you know?
It's only because not everybody grows it. You know, I think that's the solution to that, and that's the affordability piece too. Is everybody needs to grow it in their closet.
Yeah.
So everybody can give it to their friend, family,
absolutely
and everybody.
You can start eating it. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
If it's not $1 million an ounce. You
Right.
know?
I agree.
So,
One of the questions in chat, he does not do THC testing. He didn't feel like it was stable enough. Steep Hill Labs out of DC will test THC levels in this area though.
yeah, you can drop off a sample over at Cap City Organics.
Cap City Organics as well. So
over in Brooklyn.
But you did say you are getting into the CBD of it, so
Yeah, well, so the CBD, it's also just the gene. CBD
Okay,
Gene
okay.
test. So you know, you're not going to give me the flower. You know, I'm still going to test your seedling. It's more like an add-on once you're doing the sex testing or something like that.
So this is, so those are definitely two-way different types of tests to figure out the THC in your plant and also the CBD in your plant, or is it just that the gene of the plant this will tell you it's more CBD lean related or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, so it's more like for like breeding purposes or like screening purposes. Like it'll tell you if your plants have those genes, if it has like that capacity to make CBD, but it's not going to give you a final result on how much CBD is in your plant.
Okay. So let's say you have a like you said, breeding type of purposes. So if you're trying to breed a plant that's a 1-to-1, meaning a 1 THC to 1 CBD, this could help you get to that point, right?
Exactly. Because then from those seeds that you get after you cross that original line, you can plant those and then quickly weed out all the ones that show the THC trait.
Definitely, yeah.
Which is pretty much what I just did with him. So we took out, I found there was 2 CBD dominant females, 1 female, 1 male, and then 1 THC dominant female. And that was out of some 3 seeds. So
Yeah.
So we'll see how it tests out in the end once that flower's out.
Yeah. So we saw the difference in the genetics, and you're going to grow them. We're going to get it tested, and then just kind of validate that.
And like I said, man, it's like I'm intrigued by it. You know, once I get up and going again, man, I'm gonna definitely, reach out for a couple packs, man. Cause like I said, it ain't nothing, man. It ain't that much to try to get to an end goal at a reasonable motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, money. It's just, like I said, it's no doubt that, like I said, $12, $15, $10, whatever the case may be, depending on how many you buy. It's reasonable, man. You know what I'm saying? You spend more than that on 2 grams of weed.
Right.
So, You want to get your giveaway on the roll, man? You still trying to?
Yeah, we can. Today I got some lean. I got 5 bottles that I'm going to give away. So the first 5 callers, that's who win. And again, for people that don't know, the number is 202-618-9399. And just like I said, the first 5 callers, you can call in. And if you got any questions, also call in and ask them. Don't be shy.
Give me that number one more time, 202.
202-618-9399. 9399. Let me get that wide when this phone get the ringing. And like I said, also call, man. And his product is also a Capital City Hydroponics. Is that the only place that it's at right now?
No, so it's at the Hydro shop in Petworth, Cap City Hydro.
Okay.
It's at Cap City Organics, which is their shop over in Brooklyn. We also got it at Let's Grow DC, Good Hope Hydroponics over in Southeast. So so we got a pretty good spread.
Yeah, definitely.
You're pretty much around
you hit up
town.
all the spots.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then I'm in Glover Park, so if you're over in Northwest, I got you there. So, so yeah, we're trying to be all over the place. We want to make it as accessible as we can, you know. Yeah.
And then what I wanted to do today too, so what I'm gonna do today is also purchase one from you. And this is gonna go with the first caller that calls in. So you might want to get your plant tested, your favorite strain that you got going or whatever in your closet. This is for you. So call in. You get a bottle of lean. For the first caller, you're going to get a bottle of THC lean and a sample pack. Not even a sample pack, just
That's the real deal.
The real deal, yeah. So you get your plant tested for the DNA. One test.
One plant.
One plant. And the rest of the callers, I have four more bottles of lean, 4 ounces bottles of lean for y'all, THC lean. Pretty good. Gonna have you set back, relaxing. Especially now with these colds on this bad weather going on right now. So you might want to enjoy some of this in the privacy of your home. So like I said, the first 5 callers, and the first caller's gonna get the full Monty. So don't be shy, call in if you got any questions for our guests. Also ask them as well. So continuing on until this phone get the ringing. So is it just you? You got any partners, or how did you come up with the idea? Like what hit? Oh, there go our first caller. Hello. Oh. Hello. Is it on? 1 second. All right. Do I gotta put it on speaker? Who's it? All right. It ain't on. Hold on, J-Rock. Go again one more time.
Oh, J-Rock won.
Yeah, J-Rock cleaned the house with us. Hey, here you go. First place again for J-Rock, 420. Right. He's gonna get a 4 ounce bottle of lean and a sample pack. I know y'all can't hear him out there, but he on the phone with me right now. And again, thanks for calling in. And we're gonna ship you out because we already got your contact info.
We're good.
So we definitely gonna take care of you.
Come on, Tony, get in there, man.
All right, it's all right.
T-Man,
yeah, so like,
in there.
So
like, what made that light go off in your head? Like, got it. That's it, right there.
All right, well, dude. So 2015 happened. You know, Initiative 71. We went to, I think it was a Comfy Tree Cannabis
Hold
Expo.
on, I got one more call.
Right,
see, I am
let's
cutting everybody off. Hello? Oh. Hello? Is T-Man on here? Yeah. All right, we definitely look. T-Man, you the second caller. You gonna get a 4 ounce bottle of lean, THC lean. Make sure you hit my email at dcfarmer202@gmail.com. Again, dcfarmer202@gmail.com. Make sure you hit my email so I can know where to send you off at, T-Man.
All right, my email THC Dog Gang. I'll hit you up in a minute.
Okay, no problem. You got any questions for our guest?
No, I'm in Prohibition land. We ain't doing this kind of stuff.
Right on.
All right, man. Take it easy. You have a good one. Thanks for calling in again.
You know, I would never encourage any illegal activity of any sort, but darn it, Prohibition states if I would not be sex testing.
No.
I know I'm saying like that is a needed service.
Yeah.
That is needed. Just drop that in the mail. You gotta save space.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, no. I mean, especially with tent grows and stuff, safe space. You know, saving space. It might not even be a matter of money. It's a matter of not wasting that little 1 foot square foot you got for your
That's what it is
plant.
for me. Yeah.
I mean, you spend all this money on, like for us, we spend all this money on building our soil, lights, if you're growing indoors, just everything. You know, no matter what style of growing that you do, you spending your money, your heart, your time, because this is what you like to do. You trying to get the best for your plant, regardless of your style, like I said. And not to test your plant now that we have this option, it's just crazy, man, because it's like, you like I said, you're spending all this money, man. Just your electric bill alone, man. Like, I want you out the way if you're not going to do nothing for me. So if I could do that by a simple test from plucking a little leaf before I could even get to top it, man, I'm telling you, man, that you can't beat that at all. So y'all need to check him out and ask for it at the hydro shop, because like I said, it sounds like he everywhere at all the hydro shops out here. So make sure y'all ask for Pharma Freeman Easy XY.
Yeah, there we go.
Easy XY. Make sure y'all ask for the plant test, man. It don't cost you nothing, for real, man. And it's gonna get you there. And I got three more bottles to give away, y'all. I can't handle them all by myself, so make sure y'all call in so I can get these stuff. Oh, they're going on.
All right.
Sound like I got 2 bottles left. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Amber Moose.
Hey, man, Amber, how you doing? Thanks for calling in. It looked like you won a bottle.
Thank you very much.
Amber, please make sure you hit my email at dcfarmer.com. .com. dcfarmer202@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for calling in. 2 bottles left, y'all. And please make sure y'all hit my email, because if I don't know where to send it to, I won't send it off.
Well, yeah. So I was telling Big Worm here earlier that there was a Freeman when we started this.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the 2 of us. We wanted to do whatever we could to like be in the cannabis industry. So we started with the idea that we would make THC kind of tablets. You know, like a tablet form of ingesting cannabis.
Oh, okay.
We started doing a little bit of work on that, and then we decided we just didn't want to be processing drugs, you know. So we
Like then
pivoted.
everybody's calling you out like, hey, you're big pharma now.
Yeah, right.
Turning it into a pill form.
Yeah, we got this lab equipment at the house. It was kind of weird. So we decided to pivot over to something I knew, which was DNA. And like I said, we were also growing these plants. So we had like these massive Jamaican plants outside, and they were vegging forever. And we're like, okay, well, it looks like we have enough time to come up with this idea and maybe even try it out this cycle.
Right.
And sure enough, yeah, so we were able to pull a few males before, I guess, September came around and they started flowering.
Man, I mean, I just, like I said, I'm intrigued by the concept, and especially that I'm gonna be growing out of beds now. You know, I could just pluck them on out the way and probably throw another seed in there. You know what I'm saying? So, it's to me, that's the concept I'm looking at as from a farmer's point of view. You're saving me time and money. Like, eventually, I might be growing to crossbreed different types of genetics and start my own strains, and that's helpful for that as well. But in the meantime, right now, as I'm growing for the female plants, you know, and I don't have time or money to waste at the moment on growing male plants. You know, you're taking up valuable real estate, so you got to go. You know, that's my point of view. That's how I think about it. So, again, $15, $10 ain't nothing. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? Me running the lights, me watering, the water bill, nutrients, all that costs money.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, invaluable real estate for growing a plant. So, and we don't got a big plant count out here. We're not Cali.
Yeah, we got 6 plants.
Yeah, we get 6 plants, 12 if you're lucky. So
and it's DC, so you got a 1-bedroom apartment with those 6 plants.
I know, right?
Yeah. So.
I think we're getting towards that time.
We are getting towards that time, y'all. Look, I got 2 more bottles. You got 3 minutes to call in. If not, well, find out something to do with them. I don't know. I might drink them tonight. Who knows? So I got 2 more bottles for y'all that want to call in. I also want to thank my guest right here, Pharma Freeman. Y'all need to check his product out. J-Rock, he'll tell you about it once he try it out. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to try this product out. Go to all the hydro shops out here because y'all visit them all the time anyways, man. Tell them to give you a pack. Check it out. Just test one if you just want to see what's going on, man. Test one, see how that goes, and then make your decision from there. Like I said, check them out at the store. Thanks again for coming in, Pharma Freeman. Thank you. Very important information, I think, for the gardening industry out here in D.C. So I thank you for coming in. And like I tell everybody, man, y'all check them out. Where can everybody reach you at?
Yeah, so you can reach me. I'm really active on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, I'm at Farmer Freeman EZXY. You can also find me online. I have a website, farmerfreeman.com. Yeah, both of those are great channels to reach me. You can email me through my website. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I'll reply nearly instantly. Most everyone knows I got great communication on Instagram, so.
That's what I've been noticing as well, man. Like I kind of do a lot of my communicating on Instagram as well too, because man, it's just that simple. I'm always looking at it anyway. So when somebody reach out and touch me, I probably get that message quicker than I would on the email, man. So I don't know. Yeah, definitely reach out to Pharma Freeman on Instagram.
I appreciate everybody coming out and chat tonight.
Follow Big Worm on Cannabis IG.
Cannabis DC.
Cannabis DC.
Oh, I do need to do a little shout out tomorrow night. I'm doing a class, Teach Me Tuesdays. Check out our Instagram. I'll be talking more about plant nutrients and nutrition, going more into the depth of different organic systems. So check that out tomorrow night.
Right. Definitely go check that out tomorrow, especially if you're local. Reach out to them. Go be there. This is some valuable information, man. This man's putting out, man.
Come smoke a blunt. We'll talk.
Yeah.
And then you're getting high with it. So hey, free and high.
Right. I'm always smoking a blunt.
So man, look, y'all make sure y'all check out Cannabis DC Tuesdays. Check them out on IG. Check them out on YouTube. And also Princess P, man. She be throwing out some good ingredients out there, man. So y'all check her out too, man. And, thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I guess I'm going to take them 2 bottles home with me tonight and get bent. So for those that want, make sure y'all send me the email with your address and all that so I can shoot this out to y'all. And thanks for tuning in.
See y'all later.
Peace.